Hello, Quality Craft welcomes you to this demonstrational video where we are here to help make reading your cabinet job paperwork simple. As a customer, it is important to know how to read your paperwork because the paperwork is the best representation of the product you will be receiving. Understanding and reviewing your paperwork can help us to make sure you get exactly what you want. So let's get started. On the paperwork for your job order, you will notice two perspective views representing your job. One is a top-down view showing a bird's-eye perspective, and another is an elevation view showing the perspective as if you were looking at the face of your cabinets. Let's begin by reviewing the most important aspects of your paperwork. First, we have the inside wall dimensions. This can really help us design your kitchen in a way that assures the cabinets you want will fit in the workspace as it exists on site. In this example, you can see that we have a workspace of 144.5 inches on the left wall and 129 inches on the wall to the right. You will also notice that there is a window depicted on the left wall. Included are the measurements of the width of the window, which is 83 inches, as well as how much space we have to work with on each side of the window. As you can see, we have 29 inches on the left side and 32.5 inches on the right side. In this drawing here, you can see an example of a doorway specified in this location. These details can help you and our designers make informed decisions that will assure the functionality of our cabinets harmonize with things like windows, doors, and other objects that need to integrate with the vision of our customers. Now let's take a look at the cabinets themselves. There are essentially three standard cabinet styles we offer. We have a face frame build, which accommodates our standard door and drawer front layout, as well as a full overlay option. Then we have our Euro style. Reading the paperwork should be basically the same for all three of these styles, but we'll try to give a sample of both face frame and Euro style cabinets. Any given cabinet job will consist of base cabinets and/or wall cabinets. Base cabinets sit on the floor, while wall cabinets are hung on the wall so as to elevate them off the ground. The cabinets are depicted on the top-down view with these solid lines which illustrate the outline of each cabinet box. Each cabinet has a label as shown here, starting off with the cabinet reference number. Below that number, we can see another series of information. Some of these labels start with a B, indicating a base cabinet, while other labels start with a W, indicating a wall cabinet. Note that some base cabinet labels will not start with a B when it is more helpful to point out the unique qualities of the cabinet, such as a cabinet that needs to house plumbing attached to a sink. These are referred to as sink cabinets and will be labeled accordingly with SC. Another example would be a corner Lazy Susan as shown here, located in the corner and usually housing hardware for easy access deep inside these corners. This corner Lazy Susan is labeled with CL Susan to set this cabinet apart for his unique purpose. In summary, if the label does not start with a B or W or has a letter following the B or W, it is telling us that there is something special about that cabinet. Moving on, the numbers indicated on these labels. The first pair of numbers indicates the width of the cabinet, the second pair indicates the height, and the third pair tells us how deep the cabinet is. Next, what are these diagonal lines coming off the cabinets here, you might ask? These represent the placement of doors. This illustration can also be helpful to tell you which way the doors open. For example, on cabinet number 1, you can see the line touches the left side of the cabinet, indicating that the hinges are on the left side, so the door would swing to the left. Next, we have the straight lines in front of the cabinet as shown here on cabinet number 4. This indicates the number of drawers on a cabinet. For example, here we count 1, 2, 3 lines. This means the cabinet is a drawer bank with 3 drawers. What about these dotted lines here? They simply represent the future dimensions of the countertop that will sit on top of the base cabinets. Next, we have special notes such as these here. It is very important to read these notes as they indicate hardware type, special installation or manufacturing instructions, and other special features, all intended to provide an end result that matches the customer's special requests. If there is a special request you have made regarding your cabinets, make sure you see them indicated in these notes or that they are clearly illustrated in the cabinet drawings. Beside the drawings, you will see a series of other information. Each cabinet section will be represented in its own box entitled here. In this example, we have the perimeter and island/hood cabinets. First indication is the exterior and interior material. In this example, we see the exterior material, which would be things like the face frame, doors and drawer fronts is clear alder on the perimeter cabinets, and paint grade on the island and hood. For the interior material, which would be the box, we see both the perimeter and island/hood is white melamine. Next, we have the finish color indicating the stain or paint color applied to your job. Here, the perimeter cabinets will receive a matte pickled stain, while iron or paint will be applied to the island and hood. Next, we have our cabinet selections area, starting off with the chosen cabinet style. Next is the door style and drawer front style, followed by the chosen hinge and drawer slide hardware, then the chosen drawer box style, and last we see the chosen molding and wall cabinet mounting limits as determined by the ceiling height. Below that may be other special notes such as knob and pull choices when applicable, follow-up items, or other important notes to help indicate and fulfill the desires of the customer. Be sure to read and confirm these details carefully, and that needed information is not missing, as information represented on this page will officially represent the customer's choices as printed. Okay, now we'll go over a brief introduction of the features as depicted on the elevation view, so you can utilize these drawings to ensure you're getting what you desire. The elevation view shows a more detailed two-dimensional drawing of each cabinet. Each cabinet is separated by these measurement lines here, which represent the width of each cabinet. You can also see such details as the doors, drawer fronts, knobs, faucets, and appliances clearly illustrated. These drawings are broken up by walls. We have the left wall, right wall, and front and back of the island. When looking at the numbers, we can see the cabinet reference number indicated here. Next, we see the width dimension for each cabinet, as well as the total length of workable space as indicated by this number here. Next, the workable height space is shown in these vertical measurements here. You can see we have a ceiling height of 108.5 inches. Over to the left, we see dimensions indicating that the base cabinets are 35 inches tall. We have a countertop of 1.5 inches thick and 72 inches to spare above the countertop. Okay, so what about all these numbers that can be seen inside and around the edges of each cabinet? Well, on face frame style jobs, these numbers will indicate the face frame dimensions. The face frame is what makes up the face of the cabinet and sits behind the drawer fronts and doors, as the doors and drawer boxes are mounted to the face frame. In this example, we see that the face frame has a 1.5 inch outer frame. It has a horizontal middle rail that is 1 3/8 inches wide. Euro jobs, as shown in this example, do not have a face frame and therefore will not have these dimensions included. Let's talk about these vertical-oriented numbers here on the side. It is important to note that these measurements do not indicate the height of the drawer box, but rather the measurement between the face frame rails as located behind the drawer fronts. The actual height of the inside of the drawer box will be 1.25 inch less than this measurement. So in this example, the inside drawer box height would be 8 3/4 inch. If we were to remove the doors and drawer fronts, we would see the face frame on face frame style jobs, or 3/4 inch wood dividers on Euro jobs. This measurement is the space in between the face frame horizontal rails, or 3/4 inch wood dividers. Next, be sure to look at the special notes like these to be sure the special features you have requested are noted on the paperwork, either on this elevation page or on top-down view we have already gone over. The footer contains other basic information about the job, such as the customer name, shipping address, and contact, as well as the job name here and our contact information. Please be sure to take a moment to review your paperwork before signing off on your job to ensure it represents your order according to your specifications. Again, this paperwork is the official representation of what Quality Craft is agreeing to deliver. Any requests that are missing from this paperwork or not represented correctly fall under the responsibility of the customer to correct before signing off on your job. Quality Craft accepts liability only for producing a product not in harmony with what is represented on the customer-signed paperwork, or missing an item or detail that is clearly stated on said paperwork. So if you see a discrepancy, please reach out to your salesman so we can get it fixed right away. Thanks for partnering with us to make this important part of your home a success, and we hope you have a great day.